Hi and welcome to this new video. Today we will learn how to create this map which is showing the distribution of wildfires and burned area in the province of Ourense in Spain. So here by the size of the circles you can see the number of wildfires with this nice legend. And by the color, the reddish it is, the more burned area was in that specific municipality of the province. And you can see that this data is from the decade from 2006 to 2015. And you can see that here we have also this north arrow, this scale bar, we have also this inset map, and also the caption. So we will learn how to create this map by using a package which is called mapsf. And you can find this web page in the repository of the package, and you can see very nice information about the package, some use cases, and something that I really like, the cheat sheet. And if you download the cheat sheet, you will see this one page summary of the functions, and you can see how to use the package. So you can see how to create base maps, how to use different colors, how to use the symbology, which is something that I find very cool in this package, and other aspects of the map layout. And this package is deprecating the package which is called cartography, which is developed by the same author. And you can see here that they say that you should consider to use mapsf. So let's get into it. Alright, so now we are already in our studio. I cannot do this script in Positron because this mapsf package is displacing the circle legend, so something is not working well with Positron and this package. So we will use RStudio today. So I will start loading the packages. I will use the janitor package to clean the data, the mapsf to create the maps, maps pane to get the municipalities of Ourense, the read Excel to read an Excel file, SF to manipulate the spatial data, and as usually the tidyverse. So here I'm storing into a variable the coordinate reference system of Ourense in UTM coordinates, so I can use this variable later. And here we will start loading the data, and first the wildfires data, which is in this URL, and it's an Excel file. So I will store this URL as a new variable, and I will create a temporary file with the file extension of this URL. So if I execute this, or if I print it in the console, you will see one file which has a random name, and if I execute it again, you will see a different name because this is randomly created each time. So now that I have this file name, I can download the file by using the URL, the destination file, and using the binary mode. So if I execute it, it will download it, and now we have this object that we created before populated by the file. So now we can use this function to read it, and we are interested in the cheat number 3. And if I use this part of the code and print it in the console, you will see here the data. And maybe you don't understand the column names because they are in Spanish, but I will explain them in a while. And if I use this clean names function from the janitor package, the column names will be well formatted. So I will store it into this new variable, wildfires table, and now I will load the Spanish municipalities by using this function from the map Spain package, which if I print in the console, this is an SF object with all the municipalities of Spain. And you can see that this one is in this geodetic coordinate reference system, but it's not this one that we are interested in, so we have to transform it. So I will execute it, I will print it again in the console, and now we are in the projected coordinate reference system UTM zone 29N. So now we will go to prepare the data. We have to start preparing the wildfires table. I'm only interested in the province of Ourense, so we have this column pro and INE. So I will filter those that are equal to Ourense, and now we have reduce the table to 91 different rows. And then I want to create a new variable, which is the code, this código INE, but instead of being double, I want it to be a character. And this is because in the municipality's SF object, we have also this code, but it's a character. So I will transform it and I will select the variables that I'm interested in, which are the code, the name of the municipality, the total number of wildfires, which is the variable that is called total incendios, and the hectares burned, which is this total column. And here we have other variables like these conatos, which are wildfires which are smaller than 1 hectare, incendios, which are wildfires greater than 1 hectare. So this total incendios is the sum of these two columns. We have arbolado, which is area populated by trees, and no arbolado, which are areas where there are no trees. And the total are the sum of the hectares of both categories. So with this said, I will execute these lines of code, and we are storing now the municipalities the wildfires in the municipalities in a new variable called wildfires prep table. So now we will prepare the spatial data. So we start again with the raw object. We will filter the province of Ourense by using this column. So now we have 92 features. Remember that before we had only 91, so we will take this into account. And I will select only the name and the code. But here the code, I repeat, this is a character, it's not a numeric. And for doing the left join, we need both to be the same that data type. If one is numeric and the other is character, the join wouldn't work. So now we are doing the left join, so we are maintaining the 92 features of this SF object, and we are bringing together the other 91 to match by the code. So if I execute this only, you will see that now we have also these new columns which come from the other table. And now I'm creating or I'm modifying the end fires and hectares burned to say if the number of fires is NA, because you can see that here we have some NAs, I want it to be 0. And this is because we have this municipality, Beade, which wasn't in this wildfires table, and that means that this municipality didn't have any fire, and that's why it didn't match, and we have NAs there. But we know that this is because there weren't fires there. So I will execute it, and now we have our wildfires prepared. Alright, so now we will go with the visualization. And first I will start by setting some mapsf defaults, like the font family that I want to use. If you want to check the fonts that you have available in your system, you can run this line of code, and you will have all those that you can use there. In my case, I'm using this Roboto that we can find here. So I will set the default font to Roboto, and I will start by setting the theme. And if I go back to the web page of mapsf and you go here to get started, you will see also this nice table. We will be later playing with this type argument. But if you scroll down, you will see the different themes that you have available in the package. And I'm starting with this iceberg theme. So here I can delete this and I can paste it later so we can see how it looks by default. But when we execute it, nothing is happening. If we want to add the data to the map, we can start adding a template. I will start a template and I will use mf shadow. And with mf shadow, we will plot the shadow of our data. And I will show you what I mean with that. So I will add here the wildfires prep SF, and if I paste it, we are pasting the shadow. So you see that we don't see the different municipalities very much. Like if you look deep, you will see some lines there. But we are just printing the shadow of this SF object. And we can also change the color if we want, for instance, to gray 80. And if I print it again, now it's a bit clearer. Now what I will do is to add a map, and we do that with mf underscore map. And here the first argument will be our object again, wildfires prep sf. And if I print it, now we can see them better. So with this mf shadow, we are printing this color that we have in the background, and with the map function, we are writing or drawing the features. So now what I want to do is to map some variable, and we can add it by the var argument. And here I want to show the number of wildfires, which is in the variable and fires. But if I execute this, you will see that the package tells us to use the type argument to map the variables. And now if I go back here and I go here to symbology, this is the type argument. And depending which option you choose, you will see a different output. And here I'm interested in using some colorful, some size points, which is these proportional symbols. So I will use the type prop. So I will go back here and add a new argument, which is prop equal, or sorry, type equal to prop. And if I execute it, now there we have the points. So now we can change some other arguments like the color of the points, and I will say color equal to wet, for instance. And there we have it, but now I want to change these colors to the ones that I had here before. So now I will use this theme, but you see that nothing changed. And this is because we have to start the template again. So if we start with mf shadow, you will see that the map will start over. And now I can add this on top of it, and you see that we have the different points, but we don't have the different features. And this is because we started the map again and we didn't add the features themselves. We added now a map where we are mapping this variable, but we didn't say anything about the features. So we can add here a new layer, and we can say add base map. And here I will use the mf map also to add the wildfires prep sf, but I won't add any argument. And if I execute it, you see that it's on top of this one, so we have to execute it again. And now we have both again. Alright, so now we will tweak some other parameters, for instance, those related to the legend, and if you use leg underscore, you will see many different arguments to modify the legend. Some will apply to the type prop, but some other may not apply. For instance, if we use leg underscore pose, or sorry, I think it's direction. Actually, no. Well, doesn't matter, I will see it later, but we will change, for instance, the legend title. And here I will say number of wildfires. And now you can see that the legend is drawn in the top of the other. And this is because, I repeat, this layer is added in the top of the other one. So if we want to start over, we have to run everything again. And now we have a new map. And now I will add other arguments, for instance, leg frame, and I will say equals to true. And now we have this nice frame around the legend. And you can see that the numbers, they are quite small, so we can also change the size by using the leg underscore val sex. And here I will say, for instance, if I say 2, you will see that this is huge. So I will say, for instance, 0.9. But you see that they are again drawn in the top of the other, so we have to run everything again. So we have a new map, and now we can see the numbers better. Alright, so now I will just add one title, so you can see also how to add some labels. And we will add the function mf underscore, and you can see that all the functions of this package start with mf underscore, so they are very easy to find. So the title is add with mf title, and here I will say, for instance, number of wildfires, and you see that by default the title is in the top right corner, but we can change this by using the post argument. We can use either left, center, or right. Let's say center, and you can see that again we are repeating it, so we can execute everything again, and there we have it only one time. And we can also use this argument tab equal to false, and you can see that now the background is occupying all the top of the map. Alright, so I think this is good for our first try. So now I will copy all of this code and we will map the burned area. So here I will start over with a new template. I will add the base map, and now here we will change some parameters. For instance, the variable that I want to plot now are the hectares burned, and I will execute it to see what's happening. So now you see that by the size of the circles we see the burned hectares, but we are interested on using different colors instead of different sizes. So if I go back here and I see which of the types are using different colors, we can see this color and also this typo. But this typo, this is for categorical data, and this one is for continuous data. So we will use this color. So I will go back here and I will use color, execute it again, and now we have this colored map. And you can see here that we have different categories. We can use other arguments, for instance, the leg orith, which is the one that I forgot before. If we say leg orith equals to true, the legend will be horizontal. But I'm not interested in that, so I will comment it out. And I will execute it again. So there we have it back. Now we can try other arguments, for instance, the leg underscore background, and this is the color of the background, and I will say, for instance, I will use here wet, because you can see that this color now it doesn't make sense anymore, because here we are using a palette, not only one color. So I will delete it, I will execute this again, and now there we have it. And now if we want to change the colors of this map, we can use a different arguments. Instead of color, we will use the pal from palette. And here you can see that we can use a set of colors or palette name from HCL colors. And there we have a nice palette, which is the reds palette. And if I execute it, there we have it. And the last thing that I want to do is to change the position of the legend, and we do that with the leg post argument. And I will say, for instance, bottom left instead. And now we have it in this side. And another thing that you can notice is that we have the different breaks and we have these two decimal positions. We can also change that with the leg, I believe, val round. And this is the number of decimal places in the legend, and I will say 0. So now we have integers. And now the last thing that I want to show you, actually we'll add first the title, but here is actually not the number of wildfires, but hectares burned in Ourense. I want to show you how to add an inset map. And we do that by using the mf inset on function. And here we will say that we want to add the world map, but here we can also add a different layer or a different R object, but we will use the world map. So I will use this function, and now with the mf world map, we will say to which object we want to refer. And we want to refer to the wildfires prep SF. And I will tell you now what I mean with this. If I execute it, you will see that this world map is added and is pointing with this red triangle to some place. And the place to which is referring is to the object that we are using here. And last thing that we have to do is to use map instead of. And now we are done. But you can see that this map is not very good there because it's above the other map. So I will start over, I will run all of this. And now in the inset on, I will add a new argument, which is the fig or the pose. With pose, we can say, for instance, bottom right. And now I will add it. And you see that it's there. But it's again a bit above our other map. So I don't like it. So I can run it once again. And instead of using the pose argument, I will use the fig. And in the fig argument, we can use a vector, which is the relative position. So here we start in x equals to 0, x equal to 1, y 0, y 1. So if I want to add a map in this position, I can say maybe x 0.8 to 1. So I will say 0.8, 1. And in the y-axis, I want it to go from the 10% to the 30%, so from 0.1 to 0.3. And let's see how does it look. And there we have it. I think that's okay. So I think this is good for our second map, and now we will see how we can map both the number of wildfires and the burned hectares. And actually one thing that I see that is wrong here is that this is not the number of wildfires, but the burned area in hectares. So now I can run it again, and now we can say that our map is finished. So now we can map both. So to save some time, I already wrote all the code, so we will start adding the base map, but here I also need this template, so I will copy it, paste it here. So we start the template, we add again our layer, and here I will add the map, and you see that now we have two different legends because we are using the type prop coro. If we go back here, we see that we are using proportional symbols plus typo. So here, this type will use two different variables, and we can indicate them in the var argument with a vector. So first, the number of wildfires for the proportional circles, and secondly, the hectares burned for the choropleth map. Then I'm indicating the same palette as before. Then I'm saying that I want to round both of the legends to 0 decimals. Here if I say 0.2, the number of wildfires will be rounded to 0 and the burned hectares to 2 decimals. But since I want 0 and 0, I need to use it like this. Then this is the size of the legend. I wrote 0.7, the legend position in the left. I think if I make this a bit bigger, we can see it better, and this will also depend on how you export the map. Like if you export it in a bigger size, this legend fits well there. So I will execute it again. Well, it's not very good, but I promise that with you saw before that with the correct output size is a good choice. Then we have the legend frame, the legend title. Then we can add one title as before. Here I'm adding also the size of the title. I'm choosing the font number 2, so this is a different font than the one that comes by default. I'm adding some credits, so my name and the source of the data. This /n is to break the line, and I'm positioning in the bottom right with the size of 0.8. Then we can also, if we want to add the labels, I think for this map is not very good, but I want to show you what it does. And this is basically adding the name of the different municipalities. But since we have these points, I think it doesn't make sense to add these labels. So I will comment it out and I will execute everything again. And now I'm adding here again the world map. So I'm adding it in this area again. And again, this is not very good. I don't know how I had it well before, but I'm sorry for this. And finally, we can add also the north arrow with mf arrow, and it will add it by default in the top left place. and the MF scale in the bottom left area with the line width of 2 and the size of the text of 1. And now I will execute it again to make sure that it fits to the new window. And there we have it. We can make zoom to the map and I will bring it here. And there we have it. You can see that this is moved. This is what was happening to me in positron, so this is not very good. We will have a look at it here better.